Thanks, Susie. 8:46 right now. James Dobney, certified home inspector, with us, our Ask an Expert today. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Thanks for being here. Let's get to the phones right away. Frank is on the line from Coquitlam this morning. Good morning, Frank. What's your question for James?
Yeah, I got a question. We're considering buying a heritage home and having it moved onto a lot. What are the things a person should maybe think forward on? Is there problems a guy could run into, which I'm sure there are?
There are lots of problems you could run into. Is it you really like this? You haven't bought it yet,
no,
I presume.
No, it's a thought.
Yeah, well, it can be very expensive, for one thing, and you really have to look at economics, whether or not it's worthwhile. It depends on where you're moving it, what the moving cost is going to be, and then of course you're going to have to be doing upgrades when you get it there as well. So I would really look very carefully at the numbers and try not to fall in love with the house before you make that decision, because there's a lot to think about. With zoning regulations, all kinds of things. Have you talked to a house mover yet?
You still there, Frank?
Yeah, and it all depends on the distance and
it does.
Power lines to move and actually the size of the house, whether it's got to be broken in half or quartered.
Yeah, my suggestion would be before you put in an offer, before you buy it, get the house mover to come out and look at it. And give you a quote and give you the ins and outs and the things that are involved with it.
Right.
And also get a home inspection as well and look at the kinds of things that, despite in addition to the move, the kinds of upgrades and repairs you're likely to have to do. So take your time and be very careful.
Due diligence. All right, good luck with that, Frank. Ty is on the line from Coquitlam. Good morning, Ty. What's your question for James?
I live in a condo, and there are cracks in the downstairs basement where the garage is. There's one or two cracks in the walls.
Yes.
Where water's seeping through, and it seems to me a serious matter.
Not so much a serious matter typically, but it's annoying, obviously, and you want to do something about it. And typically what they'll do is called a crack injection, where they drill small holes and they inject a foam or an epoxy into the crack, and that usually addresses it. But if you were to look for an underground parkade in a condo in the Lower Mainland that didn't leak, you're probably not going to find it. So it's a common thing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm with Ty. I think I would look at that and be a bit concerned if there was water leaking into
Well, long term, eventually, if it leaks long enough, the rebar, the steel inside the concrete will rust and you can have problems with it. So obviously you want to address it, but it's a very typical condition.
All right. Alex from Burnaby on the line. Good morning, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
What's your question?
I need to ask him about how many 220 outlets you're allowed to have in a house, single dwelling.
What you need to do, you're presumably adding something major, are you, for appliances?
Yes.
There's no limitation on how many you're allowed to have, but what you want to do is make sure it's not overloading your service. So what an electrician can do is called a load calculation. He'll go through the house and add up the number of circuits and what they're drawing and tell you whether or not it's adequate. Most houses, it's not going to be an issue unless you're going to add a whole electrical heating system or something like that. So there's no limitation on it other than what the capacity of your service is.
And an electrician can tell you that.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, you have some tips for wet weather right now. We're certainly seeing a lot of rain around town. So at this time of year, what are some of the things we should be doing around our homes?
Well, one thing that I'm on about all the time is gutters and downpipes, and that's not what we've got on the screen. Monitor your basement and crawl space for leaks, especially a crawl space. That's not the kind of place typically most people are going to go, but in this kind of weather, you want to go down there and make sure you're not getting floods, which can cause problems with rot and mold damage as well.
But you talk about the eaves and the downpipes?
Yeah, gutters and downpipes. What you want to do is it's going to rain, but you want to control that water. And controlling it is getting it away from the house, and it'll be taken away by your perimeter drain system, or if your downpipes empty onto the ground, you want to make sure that it empties away from the house.
What if you notice water pooling around somewhere around your house?
Well, what you can do is regrade, and so what you want to do is you want to have the grade from your house sloping away from the house. Sometimes you can put in what's called a French drain, which is just simply digging a hole and filling it full of gravel and rocks and draining it into that. But the main thing is get the water away from the house.
And what about inside? What if you see water stains or anything inside?
If you see a water stain on the ceiling inside, and keep an eye on your ceilings, the best thing to do is you poke a small hole in it with a screwdriver, or if you're using a knife, be careful. But what you want to do is relieve that pressure, get the water, because what will happen is it'll gather on top of the drywall, and all of a sudden it'll let go and you'll have a major problem. But what you want to do is drill a hole in it, put a hole in it, put a bucket underneath it, and call a roofer.
Okay, good to know. That is all the time we have. Sorry, James. Thanks for that. Thanks for coming in, and sorry for the folks who are hanging on the phone there. Thanks for calling. If you have more questions for James, go to his website, jamesdobney.com. Next Sunday, we have medicinal herbalist Catalin Yardley in. Send your questions to weekendnews@globaltv.com or post a message on our Facebook page. Search for Global BC Saturday and Sunday Morning News. Thanks again so much.
You're welcome.
Good to see you. 9 away from 9.